Breaking news straight from the gates of Buckingham Palace. A royal storm is brewing once again, and this time, it's bigger than ever. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson find themselves at the center of what palace insiders are calling the most earth-shattering royal scandal in decades. After years of speculation, whispered conversations, and mounting tension, King Charles has finally been forced to face what many in royal circles have long referred to as the Andrew problem. Sources from inside the palace confirm that after relentless pressure from senior royals, most notably Prince William and Queen Camilla, the king has made a bold and irreversible decision that officially ends Andrew and Fergie's standing within the royal family. And if that wasn't shocking enough, the emergence of a secret 30-year dossier has sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace, detailing alleged activities that insiders claim could completely rewrite the narrative surrounding the Duke and Duchess of York. You're watching Royals Explored, the channel that brings you the truth behind the palace walls. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines and uncover the real story behind this royal humiliation, make sure to subscribe right now, because what we're about to reveal might just change everything you thought you knew about the House of Windsor. This crisis didn't explode overnight. The tension has been quietly simmering for months, but insiders say the tipping point came when King Charles finally acknowledged that the Andrew issue wasn't going to vanish with time or silence. According to sources close to the royal household, the king had long hoped that the public would eventually move on, that the controversy surrounding his younger brother would fade. But the exact opposite has happened. Each passing week brings new headlines, more scrutiny, and fresh reminders of Andrew's unsettling ties to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The pressure within the royal ranks became unbearable. King Charles had to choose between family loyalty and the future of the monarchy itself, and he chose survival. Prince William, the future king, has been one of the loudest voices demanding action. Reports suggest he's grown increasingly frustrated with what he perceives as his father's hesitation to act decisively. William's breaking point reportedly came after Andrew released a self-serving statement earlier this year, portraying himself as a man of duty and sacrifice. The British public didn't buy it, and neither did William. Palace insiders say the statement only made things worse, painting Andrew as tone-deaf and detached from reality. It backfired spectacularly, one royal insider admitted, adding that William's patience had finally worn out. But William wasn't alone. Queen Camilla, who has built her public image around advocacy for women and survivors of abuse, was reportedly furious over Andrew's continued involvement in royal life. She made it clear to King Charles that doing nothing was no longer an option. Camilla, perhaps more than anyone else in the royal family, understands how fragile public trust can be. She knew that allowing Andrew to remain connected to the royal institution was slowly poisoning the monarchy's credibility. Her influence, paired with the explosive dossier detailing Andrew and Fergie's alleged misconduct spanning over 3 decades, ultimately pushed the king to act. If you're as stunned by this as we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this royal saga is just beginning, and the revelations are only getting more shocking. Behind closed doors, Prince William has reportedly been unwavering in his demand for accountability. Sources describe him as furious over his father's reluctance to cut Andrew off sooner. To William, this isn't just about one scandalous uncle, it's about the reputation and survival of the monarchy he will one day inherit. Younger generations, especially those William aims to connect with, have zero tolerance for the kind of behavior Andrew has been accused of. This isn't just a royal family issue, it's a generational reckoning. King Charles, at 76, has tried multiple times to contain the fallout surrounding his brother, but every attempt has only deepened the crisis. Insiders recall how, back in 2019, Charles actually supported Andrew's infamous BBC Newsnight interview, an appearance that has since become one of the greatest PR disasters in royal history. What was meant to clear Andrew's name only further destroyed his reputation. The king's involvement in that decision is now a topic no one dares to bring up within palace walls. Fast forward to 2022, when the late Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee approached. Under mounting pressure, Charles convinced Andrew to quietly settle Virginia Giuffre's civil lawsuit, an agreement that reportedly cost the royal family around $12 million. The idea was simple: pay, settle, and move on. But scandals like this don't just disappear with a check. Instead, the controversy has continued to haunt the family, reignited by new books, memoirs, and leaked documents that bring Andrew's actions back into the harsh glare of public attention. Recent publications like The Rise and Fall of the House of York by Andrew Lowry and Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir Nobody's Girl have reopened old wounds. The details in these accounts, combined with newly surfaced emails linking Andrew to Epstein even years after his conviction, have painted a damning portrait of Andrew's judgment and morality. One email from 2011 allegedly reads, "We are in this together," a statement that suggests a continued association long after Epstein's crimes were exposed. Even so, King Charles reportedly struggled with the decision to act against his brother. He remained loyal to the principle that his late mother upheld, innocent until proven guilty. But the monarchy doesn't exist in a courtroom, it exists in the court of public opinion. And the public's patience has run out. The alleged 30-year dossier that has shaken the palace reportedly contains not only details of Andrew's connections to Epstein but also troubling information involving Sarah Ferguson. The specifics remain tightly guarded, but whispers from inside Buckingham Palace suggest that it could expose financial irregularities, inappropriate associations, and breaches of royal protocol that have long been buried. For a family that thrives on image and reputation, the existence of such a document is nothing short of catastrophic. Sarah Ferguson, Fergie, as the public knows her, has had her own tumultuous relationship with the monarchy. From her divorce in 1996 to her many public scandals, she's often walked the line between insider and outcast. Her continued close relationship with Andrew has raised eyebrows for years, and if this dossier links her to questionable activities, it may explain why both she and Andrew are now being completely severed from the royal fold. This moment marks a turning point in royal history. For generations, the royal family has handled its scandals behind closed doors, shielding its members from accountability under the guise of loyalty and discretion. But under King Charles and Prince William, that old system appears to be collapsing. This isn't just damage control, it's a declaration that the monarchy will no longer protect its own at the expense of public trust. The consequences of this decision are vast. For charities once associated with Andrew, this is vindication. For survivors who have watched him avoid serious repercussions, it's a small but meaningful form of justice. And for the royal family itself, this may be its final opportunity to prove it can evolve in an era that demands transparency and accountability. Queen Camilla's influence throughout this process underscores her quiet but powerful role within the monarchy. Her advocacy for victims of abuse and her understanding of public sentiment gave her the moral authority to push Charles into action. She knows firsthand the cost of public scorn, and she wasn't about to let the institution's fragile credibility crumble because of one man's refusal to accept responsibility. The contrast between how the palace treated Prince Harry and how it has treated Prince Andrew is striking. Harry, a decorated veteran and philanthropist, was effectively exiled for choosing independence and speaking openly about his struggles. Andrew, accused of serious misconduct, was protected for years. That double standard has not gone unnoticed, and it's forced the monarchy to face uncomfortable truths.